All right, class, let's talk about the Russian Revolution. That's our topic for today. Our essential question: how did Marxism manifest itself into a communist country? Russia was the first communist country, and it sparked, a revolution and a Cold War all the way throughout up until the 1990s. A little review about Russia. In the early 1800s, Tsar Alexander I was an enlightened despot, but still limited liberalism at the country at that time, 1811, 1825. In 1825, you had the Decembrist uprising, where the upper class and some of the upper nobility and upper commanders in the army had an uprising. It was put down. Nicholas I took over after Alexander I died. He was the younger brother of Alexander I, took control 1825 to 55. His motto was autocracy, orthodoxy, and nationality. Russia became a police state with censorship. Remember, at this time, there was a distinct difference between the upper class and then almost everyone else, including the serfs at that time. So a lot of this is review. We've talked about this before. Russia during the age of mass politics. They were defeated in the Crimean War, which marked the turning point for modernization of Russia. After that point, Russia knew that they were behind since they were defeated so easily at the Crimean War. Russia lacked a middle class that could push for reforms. Once again, having the nobility and then the serfs and everyone else, there wasn't any bourgeoisie to take things to the next level. Alexander II, 1855 to 1881, was the greatest reform-minded czar since Peter the Great. Serfs could be bought and sold on land, so he enacted the Emancipation Act, 1861, which abolished serfdom. Peasants no longer bound to the land. They were free to move back and forth. And I think we've mentioned this before on one of our other boards. Something like 50 million serfs were freed during that time. Zemstvos, established in 1864, they were set up to take steps towards popular participation where peasants would elect representatives. So this was the start of some kind of small democracy at that time. Industrialization in Russia was stimulated by a railroad. Railroad in 1860, 1,200 miles. 20 years later, 15,000 miles. This increased grain transportation. Military then could move back and forth, which then instituted, an era of let's take over a lot of the eastern part of Russia and southern part of Russia. Alexander II was assassinated in 1881 by radicals who bombed his carriage in St. Petersburg. So that gives us kind of a basis of how things were in the 1800s leading up to the Russian Revolution, and we'll take a look at a few of those key figures next time.